Hey, good morning. How we doing? Israel and Iran and the U.S. all agreed to a ceasefire. So that was quick. Concurrently, the price of oil is down about 10%. It's Monday evening right now. And rates, we had a good day in the bond market today. There are increasing calls for Fed Chair Powell to resign or be fired. He can't really be fired, not by the executive branch, but it is what it is. I think public sentiment is starting to take hold. And, you got to say something a million times for the public to realize it's that guy's a bad guy. It's Jerome Powell guy, you know. Uh, Other Fed board members are talking about a July rate cut to the Fed funds rate based upon inflationary data, which has been encouraging for a long time. A lot of people have thought for a long time we could have been doing something about this. Uncertainty got in the way, but then again, people are saying that they have been late. They were late in kind of stopping all of the stimulus stuff, and then late, I think, in addressing what's a really good inflation situation right now. Numbers wise, we're right around 2.5%. So hopefully, I think if there is a rate cut in July, I think the mortgage market follows. It may actually anticipate it. And so, as always, watch out for how they talk about what they're doing. Specifically, down to 6.75 with no discount on the 30-year fix, which I'll bet I talk about less and less because there are such good options to a 30-year fixed right now. FHA, VA, USDA 6.375. I bet by the time you're watching this, I'll bet you we're at 6.25 on those with no discount fee. That's good because you can then buy them cheaply into the fives. And just like saying that number. The bottom loan here today is in Oregon. It's an Oregon loan, the 5-year fixed arm, fixed for the first 5 years, up to a $1.5 million price with only 5% down. That's a jumbo loan. Typically, only VA can handle something like that, zero down up to 1.5 million. This loan allows for a 5% down payment on a $1.5 million price. And the rate is decent, 6.825, a little bit discount, but I'm liking it. Those are the APR. I said 6.625 is the rate. As the Fed cuts rates, rates like this 5-1 ARM are guaranteed to come down because ARM loans are tied to that federal funds rate. So if they drop it a quarter in July, this will be 6.375 for the first 5 years. Maybe different. The bond market affects it too, but it's a good thing. It's a faster hit on these ARM loans. I got a 10-year fixed ARM, really great right now. 7 years fixed, looking really good. Shoot, I got, check this out, an interest-only product. This is an example that is an investment property duplex. Okay, you're purchasing as an investment property a duplex. Now we'll say the price in red here is 850. You're putting 25% down to 637.5 loan amount. Interest only loan, that rate 7.625%. So you multiply the rate by the loan amount, divide by 12 months. Your monthly payment on this, interest only, $4,050 a month. Add taxes and insurance to that, but this is a raw comparison here. Now, fully amortizing, that means you're paying principal and interest, more of a traditional loan type. The fully amortizing loan, 25% down, same price, same down payment, same loan amount. That's coming in at 7.375% for a P&I payment of 4403. So in this case, on this 850 duplex, you're spending $350 less per month on the payment. So with where rents are, maybe that puts you in a position where you're barely cash flowing, or you're losing less in these first few years until you can refinance into a loan that's going to be hopefully in the sixes or lower sixes on an investment property. We'll see where that goes, but interest only for 10 years. 350 a month less than a typical loan, that might nudge somebody into a place where they'll say, this is profitable. We can do that. Now, what I want to talk about is I want to do more of a lunch and learn, or do something for CE credit. Big things I have right now. I have a 40-year loans. I have several loans with 40-year terms. That's easier qualification. You don't have to keep them for 40 years. You don't have to keep them for 4. But the exotic stuff is kind of coming back here. We talked about the no down payment with the lender credit for closing costs last week. I want to talk more about that. I want to talk about the no income loans that we have. These aren't stated income, stated asset, fog and mirror. These have to do with larger down payment loans, 20 to 25% on a rental property, or a situation where you have a bunch of assets you don't want to touch. You got a big brokerage account, you don't want to liquidate that. You have IRAs and things like that. We divide those by a certain increment, and they are added to the application as if they are a monthly income. There's three different ways to do those. I want to also talk about the various interest-only loans on investment properties and as an owner-occupied primary residence. And then we'll be open to suggestions. Let me know what you want to hear more about or learn more about. Or have a scenario you want to talk about, and I'll add that to it. We'll schedule it down the road for whenever it works for everybody. I don't want to get anybody's way for the typical schedule that you have during the week. And the big news here is I am now on TikTok, and it's going to be less. Here's my rate flyer. Here's my program flyer. It's going to be less of a corporate thing, so I can't really talk about some specific, interest rate scenarios. But I can do things in general, and I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to being out of place on there. So thank you so much. Have a good day. Follow me, like and subscribe. Hit that like button.